Welcome back, my dear students. Following our lessons about fractions, today we are going to learn how to add and subtract fractions. Add or subtract and write in simplest form 2 over 3 plus 1 over 3. The first thing we look at is the denominators before we add or subtract. So we look at the denominator for both fractions, 3 and 3, and they are the same. So this makes these two fractions are called like fractions. So, like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator, and this makes it easy for us to add or subtract because we add the numerators. 2 plus 1 equals 3, and the denominator remains the same as it is. We do not add it or subtract it, we keep it as it is. So 3 over 3, and it's simplified, of course, to a whole one. Another one, 3 over 4 plus 2 over 3. Now look at these two denominators, 4 and 3, and of course they are different. So 4 and 3 are different, so these two fractions are called unlike fractions. So unlike fractions are fractions that have different denominators. To make these two denominators equal, or the same denominator, so that we can add or subtract, we should do it like this. First, you ask yourself, is 4 and 3, is one of them a multiple of the other one? Yes or no? Of course not. 4 and 3 is not one of them is a multiple of the other one. So in this case, we just get the denominator of the second fraction, 3, and we multiply it up and down by the first fraction. And we take the 4 and we multiply it up and down by the second fraction. Now look at the new denominators here. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, and 3 multiplied by 4 is also 12. So we got the same denominator. The numerators is 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 4 is 8. So what did we get here? We got a similar or an equivalent fraction for the original fractions, but with the new denominator 12, which is the common denominator. Now, because we have the same denominator, we can add. So we can add, and the result would be a fraction with denominator 12 again, and we add only the numerators. 9 plus 8 equals 17. Now, 17 over 12 is the answer, but is it in the simplest form? It is in the simplest form, but it is improper fraction. Improper fraction is a fraction that has a numerator greater than the denominator. So in this case, we should make it as a mixed number. To make it as a mixed number, we divide 17 by 12. 17 divided by 12 equals 1, and the remainder will be 5. So 1 or 5. So we write it as 1 and 5 over 12, and this is the final result. Another example, 2 over 5 minus 1 over 5. Again, we look at both denominators. 5 and 5, they are like fractions, so this is an easy one. We just subtract the numerators. 2 minus 1 equals 1, and 5 is the denominator, and of course 1 over 5 is the simplest form. 2 over 9 plus 2 over 3. Here you have 9, here you have 3. They are different, so they are unlike fractions. So what do? We first ask ourselves, is 9 and 3, is one of them a multiple of the other one? Yes, of course, 9 is a multiple of 3. In this case, 2 over 9 will remain as it is. We do not change this fraction. What changes is the other one, and this should be also 9. So what makes 3 become 9? We multiply it by 3. So we also multiply the numerator by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now you got two fractions with the same denominator. So you can just add the numerators. 2 plus 6 equals 8. And 8 over 9 is of course in the simplest form, and it is proper fraction. 3 over 5 plus 1 over 3. Again, they are different denominators and they are unlike fractions. So the first question is 3 and 5, is one of them a multiple of the other one? Yes or no? Of course not. So in this case, we multiply 3 by this fraction up and down, and we multiply 5 by this fraction up and down. The new equivalent fractions with the same denominator is 5 times 3 is 15, and 3 times 5 is 15. I got the same denominator. The numerators is 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 5 is 5. Now you can add over 15. 9 plus 5 equals 14. And of course 14 over 15 is in the simplest form, and it is proper fraction. Another example, 7 over 9 minus 2 over 3. Again, 9 and 3 are different, and 9 is a multiple of 3. So 7 over 9 remains as it is, minus, I will change the 3 to become 9 by multiplying it by 3, and I will also multiply the numerator by 3 to get 6. So 7 minus 6 equals 1 over 9, and this is the simplest form. The last example, Hal spent 3 over 4 hours reading on Monday and 5 over 6 hours on Wednesday. How long did Hal spend reading in all? And in all means the sum or the total. So I'm going to add 3 over 4 hours plus 5 over 6 hours. Now to add 4, the denominator 4 and the denominator 6 are different, so we just have to get the same denominator. What do? We ask ourselves, 4 and 6, is one of them a multiple of the other one? Of course not. So we can simply multiply here by 4 up and down, and we multiply here by 6 up and down. So the new denominators will be 4 times 6 is 24, and 6 times 4 is also 24. The new numerators will be 3 times 6, 18, and 5 times 4, 20. Now you have 24 is the denominator, and you add the numerators. 18 plus 20 is 38. 38 over 24 is of course improper fraction, and it's not in the simplest form. It's the easier way is that you simplify first, then you divide. So to simplify, we divide up and down by 2. 19 over 12. 19 over 12 is improper. Make it a mixed number. We divide 19 divided by 12. This will become 1, 12, and the remainder would be, so 1 or 7 would be written as 1 and 7 over 12, and this is the final answer. Hope you understand. Please subscribe and like and leave any comment. Bye, to the next video. Bye.